good? Salute to the hottest chat in the MF game. What's good, man? I wanted to come on here short and brief and just touch on something about, I guess what I've said about Ennis is making his rounds, right? And like I tell people, you don't have to believe it. I'm not up here telling you to speak it, believe it, receive it. But this is something that is hitting people different, I guess. I guess it's hitting people different because they can't fathom somebody doing a live stream on Jerron Ennis, who's a good guy, you know what I'm saying? But how he pretty much flew his way through the rankings up to number 2. And like I said before, some people don't recognize work until you have to remind them of it. Those of you that feel some type of way about me saying he'll never unify at 147 pounds, you have every right. You can feel however you want to feel, but it's more so the weight. You never heard me say that I don't think he can't compete at 147 for the undisputed. I said that him maximizing his ability when it comes to working, having a healthy fight camp, being able to cut weight. We just seen Jaleel Hackett. I said the same thing about him last fight. Man, he looked very withdrawn. You know what I'm saying? And everything. That's going to happen to Ennis. You know what I'm saying? You say what you want, bro. But those belts are spread out in each freaking category. And I will agree with Norman Sr. on something he said. I said Ennis would never unify because he's not healthy enough. He's too big to the division. He's on the Errol Spence footprint tour. Hey, Ennis is on the Errol Spence footprint tour. He wants to walk in Spence's footprints. I already told you that. He wants to stay at 147 and talk about, hey, I want to unify and hope to build a rivalry, right? The only way that you can emulate an Errol Spence footprint tour is freaking, you need a rival. And if that rival is Brian Norman Jr., then kudos. Yeah, let's make it happen. But notice that Errol Spence and freaking Crawford only fought once. It was more to the build up than it was to the night of the T-Mobile massacre. One thing that Norman Sr. said that was absolutely correct. He said pretty much that Ennis would not unify the 147-pound division because of Eddie Hearns and how he's moving them. And that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because, look, he said, you pretty much want fighters to come to the backyard, right? Which what? Errol Spence did. Errol Spence had fights in Texas, right? Building up that Texas fan base. Bringing in, the butts to the seats and all that. Now Eddie Hearns did 2 fights in Philly. The difference between Ennis and Spence is that Spence was loved by them Texas fans. Like, Spence was that guy. You know what I'm saying? They gave him mad love. You know what I'm saying? Like, mad love. And Texas ain't Philly. Texas is way bigger than Philly. But we're talking about bringing butts to the seats. Spence had the popularity. He was going in there knocking heads off, breaking them down. That's the excitement value, entertainment value of Spence. I do agree with Norman saying when it comes to they want to bring people to Philly in the backyard of Boots. That's the wrong fighter to do that, because he's not going to be able to unify the whole entire division with human beings allowing themselves to go in the backyard of Philly and not getting paid. They're not going to go in Spence's backyard and appease him for what? It's not going to happen, bro. I'll hit y'all back.